But Rochester caught up and said, "Hey, why aren't you talking to me? I haven't seen you in weeks. Are you mad at me?" Subtitles. You look pretty good, but I'm looking even better, Jane. That was a huge explosion, and it has woken up all the guests. Rochester calmed everyone down, saying it was just a servant's bad dream, urging everyone to return to their rooms, and once they dispersed, he led Jane upstairs with a serious expression, quietly ascending the stairs, and a foul odour wafted from the secret room where Mason lay, pale as a ghost. He was drenched in blood, eyes closed tight, while Rochester asked Jane to call the doctor and went off to find someone. Jane stood in that dimly lit room. Curiosity grew heavier. Was it fire or blood? Rochester was like someone tangled in secrets, unable to reveal or escape. The doctor finally arrived at dawn, taking Mason away. Jane wanted answers, but Rochester clammed up. Subtitles. Who exactly was he referring to? Jane felt puzzled as he bent his head down, grasping a tiny flower. He brought it close to Jane's ear, his gaze so soft it could melt eyes, but Jane thought he meant Miss Ingram. She stepped back, letting this love without a place to land pull her back to reality like a letter. Her self-important cousin had committed suicide. Before he died, he had squandered the family fortune. An auntie couldn't handle the double blow and ended up in the hospital, insisting on seeing Jane with a rare somatome. She told Jane that Uncle John had written 3 years ago intending to leave his fortune to his only niece. But he had replied that Jane was dead, and this time he was summoning her not out of remorse, but fear of the curse's consequences. After hearing this, Jane didn't show any excitement. Instead, she calmly spoke, turned around peacefully, and left the childhood prison that had once confined her. In Gateshead Manor, her overseas uncle had written, and regardless of fate, she was no longer that little girl longing for attention. Childhood nightmare had finally come to an end, and she returned to Thornfield with a newfound lightness, ready to see Rochester again. She felt joy springing from her heart, but just when she thought everything would settle down, the housekeeper told her Rochester was about to get married. Jane bid farewell calmly, planning to take a breather, but Rochester tugged at her heartstrings once more. I feel like there's a rope tied to my left rib, like it's connected to you if you leave. I worry it'll snap. I'll carry that rope and wander into the sea, and you'll forget about me. What should I do then? I've lived this long, so why would you leave me now? Because of your wife. I don't have a wife. But you are already married, honey. You have to stay. I'm not your emotional vending machine. Think I'm too ordinary and too calm. But in my heart, it's only you, just only you. If heaven lets me go, it'll make you cry, it'll suffer myself. The spirit inside me is you, my soulmate. Because my body dies, but my spirit connects with you. It's like we walk together under God's feet. Now I am going to leave you, but I'm still a person who is free. Let fate take its course, then I give you my hand, my heart, Jane. I beg you to give me everything back. You are my balance and my love. Subtitles. Will you marry me? He stood in front of what could be considered the gentlest being in the world. With the hand of fate extended, this was the happiest moment of his life. For the next month, Jane seemed to be living in a dream. Spring sunshine warmed their shoulders, and Rochester's eyes sparkled with affection. Jane believed happiness had finally arrived. That morning, Jane donned her wedding dress, standing in the church with Rochester, ready for their new life. But just before the vows, an unexpected event occurred. A seemingly unavoidable obstacle loomed ahead. Let's continue. I admit and confirm, Edward Fairfax Rochester, that 15 years ago I was with my sister Bertha Antoinetta Mason at St. James Church in Spanish Town, Jamaica. It's my current visa. It's already in my hands, the visa for Richard Mason. She lived at Thornfield Hall. A moment later, Rochester stormed back to the manor, personally opening that enigmatic secret room. Her hair was dishevelled, eyes hollow, mumbling incomprehensibly. She was the one who set the fire that night, and the one who harmed Mason. Before the shocked gazes of everyone, Rochester finally revealed the secret hidden in Thornfield Hall. It turned out that 15 years ago, under family arrangement, Rochester married her off to Mason. She was born into wealth. Her father and brother didn't hesitate about the marriage, but only shortly after the wedding did she realize her odd temperament. She asked her in-laws, but found they had been hiding the family's history of mental illness, causing her even more pain. She could have sent her to a mental institution, but decided to keep her, placing her in the attic secret room. She once dreamed of escape, but it was also her response. In the deep, thunderous rain, she kept her emotions in check, and Rochester stood before her like a man about to lose everything. Her eyes held pleased anger and an unwillingness to let go as Jane looked at her. Without showing any sign of flinching or wavering, she pleaded with fervor, "We can head to a completely new place where no one has any knowledge of the past." The caption reads, "Before the break of dawn on the following day, Jane stealthily departed from Thornfield, relinquishing not only love and wealth but also her own safety." Her escape was not just a physical release, but the symbol of a spiritual awakening. This is what makes Jane's love so great. True love never demands sacrificing one's dignity. True independence signifies standing tall when the storm arrives.